All right. Good morning. Good morning. It is Monday, December 9th. We're taking a look at NQ. So, price on Friday made those fresh all time highs. You've got that push up above the 21,600 reference point, almost into that 21,725 upside reference point. That was this morning, actually. Let's take a look at that. That was around 4 a.m. this morning. So price making some fresh all-time highs during the overnight session. Now we have a pullback into that 21,600 reference point. That's going to be my primary focus this morning. As a reminder, it is just a reference point, not a true level of interest. We don't have a lot of structure behind that level. So it does just serve as a reference point for now. Now, buyers will definitely be interested in seeing that level hold. And if 21,600 does continue to hold as support, I want to watch for that push up into the prior day high and then up into the overnight high. Take a look at the action coming into the open here, though. Just purely sideways. So one of the themes from last week was selectivity and patience. And that definitely could be a theme this week as well. Especially, we want to be thinking about slowness around the holidays. It is typically a bit slower late November through December. We are at all-time highs. And as far as the economic calendar today, we do have a 10 a.m. print. But outside of that, nothing. So, want to keep the expectations in check. Off the open here, I'm looking at 21,600. Now, if 21,600 fails, I'm likely going to be cash until 10 a.m. Maybe looking at some retest into the 21,500 level of interest back into that sort of near-term structure that we have there. We'll see how we open up here in about 90 seconds. All right, here comes the open. About 30 seconds here. Prior day volume point of control. Pretty much aligned with the current volume point of control. That includes the overnight session, right? Right near that 625 area. So price coming back into 600. You have your overnight low down there at 21,586. And just ahead of the open, we're talking about just pure choppiness. Just sideways. If the regular session looks anything like that, I have no interest in getting involved. So let's see how price unfolds. There's 600. Here comes that overnight low. Overnight low 586. A little undercut of that overnight low there. If you take a look at prior day structure, you're going to see some support right into that 600 area. That was right near that prior day fib, 50% fib as well. Session low. And NQ right back into that prior day volume point of control, just shy of VWAP here. VWAP currently 637. There's VWAP being tested. Very small overnight gap is now filled. It was a decent little bounce. A little undercut of the overnight low, reclaim of the 600. Really, that next upside target here is the prior day high. Buyers can show some acceptance above VWAP. Seller showing up versus that VWAP, almost back into 600 now. Remember, 600 just a reference point for now, not a true level of interest. And here comes that overnight low. Round trip. Overnight low to VWAP, back to the overnight low. Opening 5-minute bar closes up here in 20 seconds. So NQ sitting on this 600 for the second time for the regular session already. Buyers stepping in to defend. They're looking for that prior day volume point of control VWAP area. Of note, volume really tapering down already. NQ right back into 600. So the rest of our indices are doing. Looks like YM pretty choppy to start off. Russell finding a little bit of a bid versus that VWAP prior day high area. And ES trading near that prior day low. Setting alerts and chilling. That's a smart call right there. So buyer's still trying to defend this 600 area. NQ still in that opening 5-minute range. And that opening 15-minute bar has 5 more minutes on it. Session volume point of control just stepped down to 615. Got this big high volume node building out here. ES making fresh session lows. Looks like you have Dow, YM, and Russell breaking lower as well. Last week we did see NQ trading on its own quite a bit. See if that kind of theme continues for this week. NQ is nowhere near the session lows, so already showing some divergence there. So if you're in any longs on NASDAQ, you want to be trimming into this prior day volume point of control area. Opening 15-minute bar closes here in 2.5 minutes. Currently shaped like a big doji, so no real direction. NQ into that prior day volume point of control. Then you have VWAP just above. So far, buyers doing a decent job of holding that 600 reference point. Remember, that was the main watch this morning. A little undercut of that overnight low area. It would be nice to see price leave this opening 5-minute bar. Keep an eye on volume. This yellow line is the minimum threshold here. Don't typically love to see volume this close to the minimum threshold in the first 15 minutes of the day. So patience remains key factor. Yeah, not a lot happening here so far. Couple longs versus 600 other than that. Quite choppy. There's NQ bumping into VWAP again. VWAPy. And NQ just shy of the highs is your next target for any 600 longs, any overnight low longs. Can buyers make a fresh high here? 642. Current session high for NASDAQ. No new high made just yet for NQ. We've got about 11 minutes until that 10 a.m. data print. There's your fresh high in NQ. New high of day. The next upside level is your prior day high. 670, 21,670. Very slight volume improvement on that fresh high. And 10 minutes till 10 a.m. Fairly uneventful open. How are we doing so far? Cash chilling. Waiting. 10 minutes 600 long got trailed out a bit early. Dez is green. Daily gold made. If this continues, we'll shut it down. We did see the highest volume of the session just about 1 minute ago. Take a look at that volume. Big uptick right there. Rich is green. Very nice. Or one or two decent opportunities with that 600 reference point long, as well as the overnight low. But broadly, it has been quite choppy. So patience remains name of the game, right? Don't chase anything. Don't overdo it. We want to see that action improve. We do have data in 7 minutes. As of right now, price is just within this prior day afternoon structure, right? 600 by 670. NQ coming back into the session high here. Session high 648.75. Looks like we got that first, oh, not quite. But that first print very, very close to the minimum volume threshold right here a couple minutes ago. One thing I'm keeping a close eye on. The next 15-minute bar may be showing a little bit of exhaustion here. Russell made a fresh high. Got YM still trading near the lows. ES just choppy mess there. NQ back into that session volume point of control, prior day volume point of control area. Not a lot to do here, other than stay patient. So looking at that prior day structure, price has yet to leave that range. So for right now, I'll continue to treat this like a very, very near term range until it actually breaks decisively. Essentially just like this. Here comes the data. 15 seconds. Looks like pretty much a nothing burger print there. So NQ just churning here near prior day volume point of control. At this point, I'll be most interested in the edge points of that intraday range, 582 by 650 essentially. Down through here, up through there. Main objective now is to not get chopped up. That is the main focus. Yeah, nothing wrong with being cash. Remember, the objective here, our job as a trader, is not to press buttons randomly because the market is moving. If you can even call this movement, but just because the market is moving doesn't mean we should be doing anything, right? We're here to look for our edge. Is it present or not? And if it is, wait for that setup, execute accordingly. Otherwise, just sit on your hands. Set alerts. You can work on something else if you want, but main thing is to not trade out of boredom. Not trade something that just is not there. Start seeing things. If you're staring at the candles too long, staying within your system. A flat day, a no trade day is infinitely better than a red day, especially if you are taking trades outside of your system or setups that are not aligned with your edge. So it's definitely not exciting, but it's a very real part of the business. Very, very real part of the business. Especially if you found yourself getting chopped up last week. Main goal this week has to be focusing on not having that happen again, learning how to identify the conditions that are unfavorable. And it's not going to be slow forever. Volatility will come back, definitely. But until then, just gotta stay patient. Stay patient. So one of the things we talked about before the open was that 15-minute and 30-minute chart coming into the open. It's kind of structure right through here, right? And price is still just here. So sometimes you can use that overnight action to your advantage. We do have 2 prints now, 2 to 3 prints below the minimum volume threshold. So just another clue to be doing less. Yeah, Martin, you haven't missed anything, man. Couple of longs versus that 21,600, but other than that, it's been pure choppiness. Even that rejection up near VWAP, that'd be a lower quality setup, but good follow through on it. Yeah, CPI Wednesday. More prints below minimum threshold. So more clues to be doing less here, or even consider shutting it down. Could set some alerts at kind of the edge points of the range, so you don't miss anything if a move does happen, and then focus on something else. Hourly doji, yeah, that's a solid observation. No real direction here. Chop fest, absolute chop fest. So again, like I said, price gets kind of back down into this area, I'll be interested. Maybe even up near the highs, potential break of the session high. But until then, I'm not looking for any trades anywhere in this area. It's essentially no man's land. That is where money goes to die, right there. No man's land. There's a little uptick in volume, and Q coming back into 21,600. We've got ES making fresh session lows. It is down through the prior day low, so major divergence there from NASDAQ. Russell up into session highs. Held that overnight high quite nicely for the Russell traders. Got that overnight high or low. Nice. That looked pretty good. Nice trade. I'm going to give this session another 15 minutes. See if we get another opportunity. Then the plan is to shut it down. See if we get some movement here next 10-15 minutes. There's NQ back near 600. So let's see this reaction here into 600. 600 defended again. I didn't really see an entry there, so passed on that. I'll probably see this 21,600 get upgraded into a level of interest here. This sort of action continues. For now, remains just as a reference point. Just a chop fest. Chop fest. NQ bumping into that session volume point of control. Just about 619. Got all that volume right through there. Big high volume node building out. High volume node. As far as actual volume through time, remains quite low, right? Look how many prints we have below the minimum threshold. So tough to have conviction in any trade when volume is that light. Personally, anyway. Typically, you just want to stay cash, wait for better conditions. Typical game plan when action is like this. We do have that CPI on Wednesday, so see if that brings some better volume in. So NQ getting into 600 here again. See how those lows are going to be treated if price gets down there. Session low 582.75. That is right where that overnight low is as well. That'll be a worthwhile location to keep an eye on. Most definitely. So 585 stays on watch here. It's that overnight low. Now, if sellers are able to push price through that overnight low, that session low, we're looking at 21,500. It's the nearest level of interest to the downside. It's like you have ES pressing the lows as well. Russell into the lows. And Dow into the lows as well. So NQ finally catching up with its peers with some weakness there. See if there's any follow through or if buyers step in. We do have an improvement in volume here. There's your new low of day for NASDAQ. Remember, that was that prior day structure as well right through here. There's your 50% fib for the prior day move. So now it's just 500. Next area of interest, next level of interest. Good uptick in volume now. Got this 15-minute bar closing in less than 2 minutes. Currently quite bearish, that 15-minute bar. There's that 61% from the prior day just sliced right through. Have a little bit of structure. Looking at that 5-minute chart right near here from Thursday's high. But my preference, like I said earlier, be looking at 21,500. Level of interest 21,500. Not far off now, honestly. 50 points. That last 5-minute candle's 50 points. One hour into the session now. Got that next 30-minute bar, as well as that 15-minute bar looking quite bearish here. So I'm cautious until price gets into that 21,500 for any longs, right? We want good trade location. That's the focus. Show me some good location. All right, see you, man. Have a good day. Thanks for jumping into the stream. And NQ getting back into that overnight low. Sellers will be wanting to show some rejection there at that overnight low. That was 586. A little bit more of a directional move here. You can take that intraday fib as well. See that 50% aligns with the 21,600. That fib sell zone. There's that Thursday high holding so far. A little bit of confluence here with the prior day fib buy zone, Thursday's high. I don't love it enough to set risk against it, but not surprised to see some buyers attempting there. Main thing I need right now is some strength on the 5 or 15-minute chart. Until then, still cash. Still cash. Did have one trade this morning. There's the initial long versus 600 for about 30 points. Executions on the screen there. Other than that, nothing that I really love, so we're just staying patient. Flexing that patience. NQ back into the lows here. Got pretty much every index pressing the lows. There's your new low of day in NASDAQ. Fresh lows. Let's see if that 500 could trade. Maybe right near 11 a.m. at 21,500. So about 10 points off of that 500 level now. Not quite there. Just shy of that 500 level. Session low marked at 509.75 so far. Prior day low, it's right here, 486. So NQ, a little bit of a bounce there versus that 500 area. I wanted a cleaner test personally, so no position taken. Just looking for a real test down into 21,500. See if we get that move or not. Get that real test or not. Five-minute is up through the prior bar high. First time in quite a while. First time in 30 plus minutes. NQ about 20 points off of the overnight low here. Intraday still technically a downtrend. You can start to see that change of character if price breaks this area. 576. Most recent lower high. Check out that 15-minute as well. Potential hammer in the making there. So no bullish change of character just yet for NQ rolling over. 15-minute ends up closing as a doji. So no hammer, like we talked about a minute ago. That's why I always want to wait for that candle to close before making decisions based on it. All right, let's see if we actually get that test of 500. Would not mind seeing that. Check out the big volume void on the 15-minute. Unsurprisingly, fills quickly once price breaks that low. Gets into that volume point of control here. Buyers step in or shorts cover, a little combination of both. Now we're right back into session low. I want to see how 500 is going to be treated. Buyers have any interest in stepping in there and defending that area or not. Got about 10 minutes till 11 a.m. So far, just one long setup executed on my end. That was near the open. Prior week volume point of control. Let's see. No, mine's down here. Blue line. 230 for last week's volume point of control. $520 and $507. Yeah, looks like we have some discrepancy there. That's for sure. That is for sure. NQ back near the lows here. Back near session low. Buyers trying to set up a little bit of a higher low by the looks of current action. Again, main preference is for a test into that 500. 500, you have the prior day low right near there as well, 486. Meanwhile, you have the other indices just pressing the lows. Russell is down into prior day low. Got Dow beneath the prior day low. ES into that 60-75 level of interest. So a little late in the morning, but we got some market movement here. There's your new low for NASDAQ. See how 500 is going to be treated. 15-minute and 30-minute remain quite bearish, so don't need to bottom fish. So a little bit of a bounce again, right in that zone, that 500 area. Keeping an eye on that 5-minute chart, 15-minute chart. See if buyers can show any follow through or not. Intraday is still that downtrend, right? No change of character intraday just yet. And we have about 5 minutes till 11 a.m., so almost 90 minutes into the sesh. Take a look at the structure here. So if we end up seeing 500 fail, sellers continue this move. You do have some more minor support right into 445, but really the big level is down into that 340. That is the prior all-time high. So we'll see what buyers can do here near 500, if anything at all. You do have a lot of volume in this area from last week, that high volume node right through here. But interestingly enough, my weekly volume point of control shows 230. Looks like some of you guys have the 500s. Let's see 507 and 520 in the chat. So it's kind of interesting. $5.075, got it. Yeah, there's definitely a high volume node there, no doubt. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Yours shows 230. Okay. Yeah, that's right where mine is. All right. Good to know. Good to know. Need a wiki woo at 484. Yeah, spring with the prior day low that then reclaims 500 would be nice. See if we get it. Volume starting to taper down again. So it may be that we see a base, kind of a late morning base build out through here. We are getting into 11 a.m. So probably give it a couple more minutes here. See if we get that set up at 500. Otherwise, it'll be time to think about shutting it down. For what I like to see anyway. There's your fresh low on NQ by about a tick or two. Still has not given a true test of 500. No true test of 500. Not yet. There's 11 a.m. So you have the new 30-minute bar, new hourly bar, new 15-minute bar. Starting off green. NQ, a little bit of a push there. See how that regular trading hours profile is building out. So yeah, you still got quite a bit of time before you see that session volume point of control shift down into this area. And right back down into 500 with a session low. There's your first break of 500. Coming into that prior day low. As always, prior day low, prior day high for me is regular trading hours, not the extended. Just FYI. So you can see it on that 5-minute regular trading hours chart. Now if 500 fails, if prior day low fails, not a lot of support. You do have some action into that 445, 450. Then the big unfilled gap still through here. There's prior day low being tested. So preference is to see 500 reclaimed with some sort of market structure. That would be preference. Just bumping into that 500 now. So no reclaim of the 500. And there's your fresh low of day. And there it goes. So most likely we'll trade into 445, 450 area. And then if that kind of more minor area of support fails, you'll be looking at 340 would be my best guess. That's pretty much a wrap for me. Wanted to see prior day low, maybe that undercut, and then a reclaim of 500 did not materialize. Not interested in shorting here with the bullish backdrop. So going to go ahead and call it a session for late morning, early afternoon trades. We'll see how that 15 and 30 minute chart develop, but I'll need to see some higher time frame reversal signal now, most likely on the 30-minute chart. And that takes time. That takes time. So patience, patience, patience. Know what you want to see. And when the highest probability of that trade is actually going to materialize. Thanks for your time, everyone. We'll keep it going in the Traders Think Tank with updates in there. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Take care. Have a good rest.